Hello and welcome everyone to another Northbasics episode on this channel. Today I'm going to talk about sickness in Northgard. So when do villagers get sick, how do they get sick, and how can you get them not sick anymore? So all questions that I'm gonna solve here. I hope you enjoy this video and we're not gonna waste any time and just gonna jump into the first question here. The first question is, of course, how do villagers get sick? And this question is quite easy to solve because your villagers will get sick when your food count or your wood count is on 0 and your consumption is higher than your production, so you are in the minus right there. And at that point your villagers will start starving if you don't have any food anymore, and they will start freezing if you don't have any wood anymore. You gotta keep in mind that crowns will just let your buildings start burning if you have no crowns anymore and are in a minus production, so your consumption is higher than your production. Your buildings will start burning, and this has nothing to do with your sickness, and just like that with the happiness. So you can drop as high in crowns and happiness as you want. You can have minus 100 happiness and minus 100 crowns. It will result in other things, but it will have nothing to do with the sickness. So the only things you need to look at there is food and wood. The next question you might ask yourself is, what happens actually to a villager when he gets sick? And for that purpose I have one sick villager over here to just show it for you. The villager will actually lose 90% of his life, and just right now he would die because my food is not in the positive again. But if you get in the positive again and no villagers will get sick anymore, your villager will just go down to 10% life and will get you 1 minus happiness for being sick, and of course gets the wounded clan members debuff too. So if you happen to have more than 4 or more than 3 villagers sick even, you will get 1 minus happiness for having too many wounded too automatically, because you will have 4 villagers that don't have their full life anymore. So that comes on top too. So healing the villagers will not completely cure them anymore, but we're going to in that later. Just keep in mind that you will get the debuff for the normal wounded clan members too. You may ask yourself, how long do villagers actually need to get sick? And for that purpose I made a little test bench over here. I'm just gonna send a bunch of villagers over there when the month is incoming, but I'm gonna do it a little bit before, because the first before the first villagers will get sick it will take a second. You might hit it. So yeah, the first villagers start starving. It's actually a little bit too early, just a second too early, but I think it shows quite good what it's happening here. It's not actually too fast. Minus 14 is quite a number, but you can see here that the starving clan members just rise quite slowly. If you have it on 20, 30 or higher, it will get way faster higher, your starving clan members. And they will get in the right order sick. Yeah, because they will after a certain amount of time get sick. And this moment should actually be right now. Yeah, that's actually close to half of the month. We had a little bit uptime there. So your villagers will usually get sick, and not usually, like all the time get sick, like after around, I would say 15 days. If you say that the month has 30 days, it's half a month. So if your villager is starving for half a month, he will start getting sick, so watch out for that. You don't really want that to happen because of the points we discussed before. And yeah, usually watch out for that. You see a little exploit right here that the villagers that don't have any job right now don't get sick. That should actually go into the tips, but you can see it right here, so I'm gonna mention it right here. So you can see right here that the villagers that don't get any jobs, so have nothing to do, can't get sick. I can't quite imagine how you can pull that into your game, but it is a little exploit right now that is possible. May you have some use for that. I didn't really found anything. So, if you sit in a situation like I do here right now, you may ask yourself, how do I get rid of the sickness? So the first point you would actually need to look at is getting your food and your wood up again to a point where you're not in the minus anymore. So I will just look to get some merchants out of there. Maybe get everything a little bit around to get my production a little bit up again. So when my food or wood isn't at the right point, I can just buy myself here too. Just cheat a little bit. You can just buy it at the market. It will just delay. It will not cure anything anymore. They changed it, yeah, some time ago. So you will just delay your death there. So you need to come on the positive production or positive consumption production. So you get in the plus again. So you're producing more than you consume. So you get out of the sickness loop. But you see right here, that just happened, and now I have all my villagers just low. You see it right here. So yeah, your war chief can be hit too, of course. And just right now you have to do that what you may have thought of. You can just heal your villagers and heal them all up. It will be quite a lot of work, but there's not actually a good way to fight against this. Maybe if you're a bear and hibernation, you can have a good shot there if you get a mass sickness before the winter, and yeah, you would be a lucky guy if hibernation then saves you. It would be quite clutch. Funny to see that. But usually you will just be forced to heal up your whole village, but you can't actually do that with an unupgraded healer's hut, even if you have medicine. If you have all your village sick, like over 20 people, let's say, or even over 15, that's like quite a number already. You will definitely need to have an upgraded healer's hut. So keep in mind, get your production in the plus again. If you cannot do it, think about buying something at your marketplace, but sometimes it can even be a little bit more valuable to lose a villager or two than buying something from the market. And maybe dance a little bit on the line if you can, so if you get more and more used to the time when the villagers get sick, so you can make use of that. So, when you happen to be in this position, there's one little tip that is definitely not the best tip for all situations that you can have. But just right now you see I have 13 sick clan members and it's rising higher. And sometimes, really just sometimes, it's not for every situation, but sometimes it can be good to just let it be. Just let it be. So I'm not gonna show the whole process over here. But just look out that your wood and your food aren't going to be on a high count. Maybe focus full on gold while the time, because yeah, this is not going to get rid of, not going to get away from you while you take it. And you can actually take a healer and heal your war chief while the time, because you don't want him to die at any point, of course. And you basically just cycle through all your villagers. It's not the best way to do it at every point, of course, but at some points people just forget that this is possible. I had some games where I forgot that too. That cycling through would have been just a better way for me than having, such a bunch of low villagers and then healing them for 1.5 years or something. So sometimes it can be just good to let the sickness just go through, but not at all situations. You really gotta think that through when you want to do that, and you definitely want to have a lot of breweries and Hall of Skulls. I don't think if you have a single one that it always, that at any time really makes sense to do that. But if you have a double Hall of Skulls or double brewery, it could actually make sense. So keep that in mind, that this is a possibility. And there we are at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, my little thoughts about the sickness in Northgard. I hope I didn't forget anything. If I did so, you can just write it down in the comments. If you have questions about it, I will be happy to answer them down in the comments. If you like this video, consider to just leave a like under the video, or maybe even sub to this channel if you didn't do so. Yeah, have a great day everyone, and have fun in Northgard. So, bye bye!